up! Oh!
This is
the
AVP. The AVP.
This is the AVP.
The AVP is the world's preeminent professional beach volleyball tour.
Big swing, and there's the stop.
The AVP is passion,
The best beach volleyball players in the world.
hot bodies, the best pro beach volleyball tour in the world, hot athletes.
Big D, Dallas, Texas, is the second stop on the 2008 AVP Crocs Tour. After a dominating win in Miami, Todd Rogers and Phil Dahlhauser make their second straight championship final. With big bucks on the line, they'll have to contend with Sean Rosenthal and Jake Gibb, who will be looking to stop the champs in their tracks. The Lone Star State hosts Stage 2 of the Gold Crown Series right now.
This is the AVP.
This is the AVP Cuervo Gold Crown Dallas Open. Who's going to win the prestigious Gold Crown? The men's final starts now.
Here we go. Let's meet our first competitor out of Bountiful, Utah. The youngest of 11 siblings, the 2005 MVP of the AVP with 9 open wins. Big, smooth. And his partner, ladies and gentlemen, he grew up at 8th Street in Hermosa Beach. He is the leader of the free world known as Rosie's Raiders. 6 open wins. The soonest athlete on the planet. Son of Jurel. Superman! Sean Rosenthal. And here he comes, the most intimidating man in the entire world of professional beach volleyball. In the ring, MVP of the AVP, Philip. The Big Beast Dahlhauser. Go ahead and sign it, Sexy Beast. Oh, yeah. He got it. And his partner, ladies and gentlemen, we call him the Professor out of Santa Barbara, California. 34th open wins, the 06 MVP, Rod G. Got it.
Now it's time to bring in the second member of our broadcast team. He's the greatest of all time. 3-time gold medalist, Coach Karai.
And thank you, Geeter. It was 20 years ago the first Gold Crown event was held in Clearwater, Florida. This tournament has always been the toughest to win. You had to play all the best teams. The best to win. You got the most prize money, the best parties afterwards. But for 2 years running, Gibb and Rosenthal have had it in the palms of their hands. They lost in the finals in Boulder 2 years ago, in the finals of Huntington last year. They want third time to be a charm and try to get the Gold Crown.
That's right, Karchi. Think of it as a 3-stage race. Miami, Dallas, and Huntington Beach. The top 4 teams after the Huntington final will compete for the Gold Crown and the cash bonus. Winner take all, single elimination.
Game number 1, Todd Rogers to serve. Here we go. Sean Rosenthal to lead things off. Phil brings it back. And Raji puts it away.
Unbelievable. Not only is he the big, sexy beast, he is a human freak of nature. Watch how high he was above the net, and then he travels over, almost knocks over our TV desk, gives Todd Rogers the perfect set, and that's what makes Dahlhauser the very best player in the world.
And the serve by Rogers into the net. 1-1 now on the board. As Sean Rosenthal will go back to serve. Sean Rosenthal, regarded as one of the best athletes in the entire world of professional beach volleyball. 6 open wins. And that serve goes into the net as well. So 2-1, Dahlhauser and Rogers. 6'9", Phil Dahlhauser, the MVP from 2007.
Gibb on 2 with little pokey. Now it's time to bring in another great, the third member of our broadcast team, St. John Smith.
Hey, Geeter, You know, Dallas and Rogers beat Gibb and Rosenthal about 70% of the time, and they even beat him in this tournament already. But guess what? That is not an incentive for them. The incentive is with Gibb and Rosenthal because they lost already, and now they want it badly.
Yeah, that was last night under the lights, and the match went 3, Sinjin. Just one of the great matches of the entire tournament. Rosie and Gibb winning game 1, Raji and Phil winning game 2, and then game 3, just an epic battle, 17-15 in the third. Todd Rogers out of UC Santa Barbara. Short jumpy to Jake. Gibb off the top. Raji will control it. Rosie's got a chance. Scores 3-3 Dallas. Make a little noise. Sean Rosenthal with the kill.
Now let's meet Rosie.
My name is Sean Rosenthal, and this is my story. My nickname on tour is Son of Jor-El, or Superman. Out there on the court, I use both hands. I hit with my right and my left. Some would say I'm ambidextrous. I qualified for my first AVP event when I was 16 years old. I got a loyal fan base out there called Rosie's Raiders. They get more pub than I do. Myself and my 6 siblings were raised by a single mom in Redondo Beach, California. I started working at a cable company when I was 15 to help pay the bills around the house and have a little bit of money of my own. I never played high school volleyball, college volleyball. Now I got my eyes set on Olympic gold. This is the AVP.
Rosie, and he definitely acts like Superman on the court. Does things that no one else can do. Big Phil. Raji. And Raji off the block, good for the point. Now it's time for Nautica.com and navigate the match. With Phil and Todd, they have to play with high energy on those rare occasions when they're not playing well because they have no fire. Also, they have to pass the tough serves in this windy weather. And for Gibb and Rosenthal, they can't give up points in bunches. They have to side out at a high clip. And when it gets to the end of the game, they have to make plays. Dahlhauser to serve, 4-3. All tied up, 4-4. Jake Spiker Gibb going back to serve. Spiker's actually his middle name. It's his mother's maiden name. Also a scratch golfer.
Now, guys, this tournament and the last tournament as well, missing one team, and it's a dangerous team and one of the best teams in the world, Mike Lambert and Stein Metzger.
Mike Lambert had knee surgery in November and needed a little touch-up on it a few weeks ago, and so he's missing the first 2 events here on the AVP Tour.
Rosie with an absolute blast cross court from the left side, ties it up 5-5.
And Peter, it was last year that Lambert and Metzger lost in the first round in Huntington Beach at the Gold Crown there. Came all the way back through. Everybody thought they were exhausted, but they beat Rosenthal and Gibb in the final and forced Rosenthal and Gibb to lose the overall Gold Crown.
Phil Dahlhauser thumping one from the left side.
And a little earlier in the day, Phil Dahlhauser had a chance to sign some autographs, show some love with the people, and hang out with his old partner, Nick Lucena. They grew up together, and now they are challenging each other. Nick not happy with the beatdown Phil gave him in Miami last week. But Nick will get his revenge as he buries Phil Dahlhauser and pop a shot. Big Phil, best beach volleyball player in the world. Maybe not the best basketball player, but out here, he dominates, leading 6-5.
Rosenthal gets a nice set from Gibb, and he bounces one down the line, and that looked a little bit like Las Vegas when he first ever partnered up in the God of the Beach tournament. Karts, you remember, in Las Vegas against Stein and Lambo, and everyone said, ooh, these could be the future teams. He thumped one by Lambo, not just once, but 2 times.
Just like that, and that's always a risky play against Dahlhauser, but when he pulls it off, it is spectacular.
Ain't nobody.
Sean Rosenthal, he got it for 7-6.
Gibb going back to serve. They now lead by 1. And that is how they are going to have to play to beat Dahlhauser and Rogers. come up with big digs and transition kills. Phil. And Phil taps it in front of Rosie. Good for the point.
7-7 on the board. All tied up. Make a little noise, Dallas.
The AVP Dallas Open is brought to you by Crocs. Play hard, live comfortably. Bud Light keeps it coming. And as always, the AVP reminds you to vive responsibly. The AVP, Dallas, Texas. Such a great city, a lot of tradition and a lot of fun things to do. And the people were out in force, enjoying the greatest volleyball in the world.
Nancy Mason, it is early in the morning, just past 8 a.m. Start of another year for you. One thing I want to say is you look healthy. Do you feel healthy?
I do feel healthy. I feel healthy. By the way, I've been here since 6. And it was dark when I started playing at 7.
Did you have to play at 7? Ty's hair is amazing, by the way. It's just perfect at all times.
But who's is better, Ty's or Hans? Do they sit there and, like, I don't know, you've probably breakdance battled in your time?
Absolutely.
I've volley battled and, well, done some other kind of battles.
Battle.
Caps battles. But those guys wake up and do hair battles, I think.
Hey guys, it's Laura from the Beach Girls and we're in Dallas, Texas. I've never been to Texas before and I want to know how you guys speak here.
Well, we speak just like Texans.
New little location. We got the Rangers Park in the background. We got the new Texas Stadium over there.
Here we are at the ballpark at Arlington, home of the Texas Rangers. I'm with Austin Rester right across from the AVP side. He grew up a Texas Rangers fan. He's from here, so it's going to be a big thing.
We're the only people in the ballpark, and so it's pretty eerie.
You really didn't get the wood on the ball. You had one little pop-up. Thought you had a couple pitches in the wheelhouse.
We're getting one to the warning track.
Stick the volleyball. Good work, Joe. You had one good one.
Back to action. 15-13. Sean Rosenthal to serve. Leading by 2. Game to 21 must win by 2. Phil. Cross court just off the hands of Jake Gibb.
St. John standing by with the godfather, Mr. Mike Todd, not only the coach of Rosie and Gibb, but one of the greats of all time, 75 open wins.
Hey, Mike, during that last break, I saw your players. You got them smiling and laughing. What were you telling them?
I think I'm just trying to keep them in the moment, keep them up, enjoying the situation. You know, we'd all give everything we have to be out here playing still, and I told them that they should really cherish these moments and just keep themselves up. Sometimes when they get in the big situation, they get a little quiet. And that was our key emphasis today, was hoop it up, have fun, really enjoy the time, and continue to be aggressive. We're over here on the bad side right now with the wind to our back. We've been having a couple of good chances against Phil, so see if Jake can get off a good jump serve now cross court against Dalhouser.
Mike Dodd, silver medalist in 1996 Olympic Games.
Go, shot!
Thunders it with nobody home. And here it is, the set off the block by Jake Gibb. Perfect. Phil drops off, and Rosie buries it. Gibb to serve.
And keep it in.
Hey, serve! Jake Gibb, cross court, 18-14, here in game number 1.
3 points away. This is sometimes the time when, as Mike Dodd said, they get a little quiet, a little tense. See if Gibb and Rosenthal can push for those last 3, close the deal.
Phillips got it, 15-18.
And what happened on that play, Jake Gibb was a little late getting to the net. He hit such a good serve. He didn't give himself much time to get up there. His right shoulder was back, and he didn't get that right hand across the net. Ball goes down. Easy play for Dalhouser to put away.
Raji, once again, jump float, cross court to Jake Gibb. Gibb. Hard shot, open hand dig by Rogers. Off the top, Gibb
Well, Dahlhauser talked about it before the match. They've been a little sloppy because they want to peak later this year at the Olympics, and that was an example. They didn't turn the point opportunity.
Rosie to jump float. Goes to Dahlhauser.
Shot is long. We take the turn and we rise as one. Game point. Game one on your feet. Dallas get the clappers and the bangers going. The AVP Crocs Tour 2008. The Gold Crown Series. Game point. Rosenthal and Gibb. Rosie and Gibb on the good side. Wind Adam hammers the jumpy to Dahlhauser. And Dahlhauser keeps the game going. 16 facing 20.
Dahlhauser and Rogers in the semis, they were down in the first game 14-8 and went on to win 21-17. So it's possible for them to run off streaks of points.
They were down to Aaron Wachvogel and Mark Williams. Came back at 1 and 2. And here they are. And the serve is long.
That is it. Game number one. Jake Gibb and Sean Rosenthal, 21-16.
We'll be back with more AVP Crocs Tour from Dallas.
My name is Todd Rogers, and this is my story. I now have the second most wins of any active player on tour. Who's ahead of me, Viola? They call me the professor because I use my mind rather than my physical attributes. Some people play Halo. I read a book. In my family, I do the cooking. To bring home a gold medal is a dream. The reality is that most people don't even get the shot at it, and nothing less than gold in Beijing. This is the AVP.
Now, we're not used to seeing you lose the first game, but you were completely calm throughout that whole period of time. They played really well. Now what do you got to do to come back in the second game?
Well, the reality is they must have saved probably 5 or 6 points. And, I mean, Rosie had 2 great covers. They had bad passes that turned into side outs because Rosie's athleticism was able to hit on 2. I mean, we're not going to beat them if they're pulling that kind of stuff off. And I mean, I don't want to lose, but if a team plays that well, what are you going to do? So if they continue to play that well, we'll struggle. We're not going to change anything we do, and we're not playing bad. They're making some serious plays.
Good luck.
Thank you, Sinjin. Thank you, Todd. And thanks for the honesty, Karchkarai. Basically, they're playing better than us right now.
Well, you got to give them credit. They did steal away a lot of points. That cover by Rosie and the chase that he had down and then putting it straight down with no block up. When a team is playing like that, I don't know if I'd agree with Rogers that we would change nothing. I would probably switch it up, try to serve a different type of serve, shorter, deeper, go to the other player. But it's tough to beat a team when they're playing that well.
Gibb is stuffed by Phil Dahlhauser. And guys, let's talk about Phil Dahlhauser. I mean, usually not a ton of emotion. Just carries himself that way at all times. Really the most intimidating guy in all of beach volleyball around the world, international and domestic.
Well, at some point last summer, Dahlhauser was actually trying to play with a little bit more fire. Everybody's saying, well, wouldn't you be even better if you started showing a lot of emotion on the court? And then he got out of his game and he felt like he was playing worse. So he's gone back to just playing quiet, doesn't react if the opponents do something great, and just stuff him off the court.
Great setter, as we see right there. Tight. Rosie got it. 2-2 on the board.
Time to take a look at our Bud Light tournament recap. We focused on the team of Aaron Wachvogel and Mark Williams. Now, they had a tough first-round draw. They played Jose and Pedro from Brazil and lost. They had to battle through the loser's bracket. Here they are in a tough match against Adam Roberts and Vinny the Hack.
Do it right there. We're back.
They weren't just back, they were better.
I got you. Get their line.
Yeah, the kid took a chance and it freaking worked, huh?
And then they would take on Phil and Todd in the semifinals. Now, they had a 15-10 lead in game number 1, but Phil and Todd just too tough. They would eventually fall 21-17, 21-15.
Took him a third. Willie played awesome. We got a big lead on Todd and Phil. Had trouble siding out, close out the first game, but it's a good step in the right direction.
As we take a look at the rest of the field from 3rd to 7th, Furbringer and Jennings joining Watchfogle Williams at 3rd, Medell Sousa, Hayden Keenan in 5th, Mariano Ratledge, Holdren, and Strickland in the 7th spot. Welcome back to action. 2-2, game 2. Phil. Block just out of bounds. Point to Rogers Dahlhauser. And the AVP reminds you to vive responsibly. Phil right down the middle at Rosenthal. And Rogers follows that ball wide. 4-2.
A unique style we are using this year on the AVP tool for our TV show. I will be handling the MC duties here live and also the play-by-play duties, and incorporating St. John Smith, Karch Karai, trying to bring that live feel to all you guys at home. Jake Gibb taps it down the line, 3-4.
So we go to break with Rogers and Dahlhauser leading 4-3. We'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dallas Open, 16-12 here in game number 2. Now it's time to go down to the sand for a unique player's perspective, and with that, we go to Karch Karai. Karchy, take it away.
Well, the story in game 1 was, I think, the big guy in Jake Gibb. He served an ace, got about 3 or 4 stuffed blocks, really was the catalyst for an easy Gibb and Rosenthal win. Game 2, right back at you, Dahlhauser, the big guy on the other side of the net, dominating so far with stuffed blocks, ace serves. We'll see. It looks like it's going to go to game 3. We'll see who can dominate in that one.
Rosie with a dig, chance to cut it to 3, and it's long. 17-12. Phil and Todd.
Big Phil back to serve. 5-point advantage here in game number 2. He goes right at Rosenthal. What a dig by Rogers.
Rogers got it. What a set by Phil Dahlhauser. That's one thing, Karch. He's such a good guy about it, too, Phil.
It's like he's almost feels bad. It's like he's apologizing for making a great play against you. It makes you feel even worse. It's worse than if he'd have just screamed at you. But that play by Todd Rogers, amazing. He goes with the right hand. I thought he would go with the left hand on that, and he still made the play. Beautiful set by Dahlhauser, and a better cut shot for the point.
Gibb, it's tight. Oh, the joust goes to Gibb, but Phil has a chance, and he detonates it down the line. 19-12. That was sickening.
I don't know anybody in the world who can block that shot, block this play here. First of all, Dahlhauser strong at the net, great control to keep it in, and then he sees just a sliver of line open. Gibb leaves him about a foot. He takes all of it and just delivers a shot.
Well, when you're 6'9" and as long as tomorrow, you don't really need an approach, Karch. You just can feast from wherever you want on the court. Rosie. This time he tools the block.
Remember, for everything volleyball, visit avp.com. And remember, you can also buy your tickets at avp.com.
Jake Gibb back to serve. Phil will have a chance. Got it! Big Phil Dahlhauser, 20-13 on your feet for game point, game number 2.
Todd Rogers with a chance to win game number 2.
Gibb keeps the game alive, 14, facing 20. Game point again for Phil and Todd. Last night, these two teams battled in 3 games. Rogers and Dahlhauser won 17-15 in the third. And it looks like right now, just a matter of time before we have a third game again. Rosie to serve. He'll go hard jumping to Rogers. That's tight off the net. Can't play it. 15-20. Will change sides. So Karsh, maybe a little momentum, if not to win the game, going into game 3.
A little bit of momentum, but now Gibb and Rosenthal have to go with the wind at their backs. Much more difficult to serve tough. Expect Dahlhauser and Rogers to put this ball away, and we're going 3.
Game point, game number 2, Sean Rosenthal. Here we go.
Gibb will have a chance. Rosie versus the Beast, and Rosie wins.
Sean Rosenthal, 16-20.
I love it. You got Superman versus the Beast, Karch.
I love it too, and Superman that time played the ball about 2 inches above the sand, giving himself more time to get under there, make the play, turning it for a point.
Toss was way in front, so Rosie had to take a little off it, and the Beast will end it.
Phil Dahlhauser puts it away. We go to a third game. Make some noise. 21-16.
Who will be in the driver's seat for the Gold Crown title? Game 3 next.
Welcome back to Dallas, Texas. This is game number 3 for the title. We played at 15, got to win by 2. Todd Rogers, Phil Dahlhauser, Jake Gibb, and Sean Rosenthal. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
And here we go. Todd Rogers to serve.
And Jake Gibb starts it off with that hard cross-court shot.
They call him the big, smooth, nasty one, Jake Gibb. Let's meet him.
My name is Jake Spiker Gibb, and this is my story. Spiker's actually my middle name, my mother's maiden name. Crazy as it sounds. I got cut from my basketball team as a senior. Killed me. Growing up, basketball was my passion. Now it's volleyball. In Utah, I used to get so eager to play beach volleyball. We'd go out and start playing. Snow would still be on the ground, but who cares? We're still playing beach volleyball. I moved to California in 2002 with $1,600 in my pocket to pursue beach volleyball. I'm now chasing Olympic gold. This is the AVP.
Who would have thought, Peter, that a guy could grow up in Utah, go on, start learning volleyball in his backyard, and become the AVP MVP a couple of years ago? This whole Utah clan, he's one of 11 kids. Most of them are moving to California now. They're going to be the ex-Utah clan.
Can you imagine, in the days when you and St. John played, a guy from Utah stealing the MVP from one of you two? Are you crazy?
We would not have allowed that to happen.
Big Phil comes up huge, taking away a point opportunity for Rosie and Gibb. This is why he was one of the best blockers in the world. Eye focus on the hitter. Takes a nice step, presses, and got it. 1-1.
Phil into the wind. Oh, tough serve at Jake. Rosie saves it. It's tight. They're going to call over on Phil Dahlhauser. They're going to call over. St. John, what do you think about that? You guys are right on that line, St. John. Is that over? Phil's not arguing, so I'm imagining it is.
You know, he got the ball so high above the net, it was kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I believe he went over. He was like 3 feet above the net when he got it.
As we show here, Phil clearly on the side of Jake Gibb. So the right call. 2-1. Rosie. They serve Phil. And Phil, hard shot just by the block of Jake Gibb.
2-2. Game to 15, must win by 2. Todd Rogers, we call him the professor out of UC Santa Barbara. 34 titles.
Raji goes at Gibb from the right side. Gibb into the net. Dahlhauser and Rogers lead 3-2 on the switch. Here's an opportunity to take you back in time with the Gold Crown flashback. We go to a classic, 1988 Clearwater Open. Hob and Dodd on the far side playing Pat Powers and John Stevenson. And Johnny the Steve would set it up for PP. Johnny would dig it. And Johnny the Steve would put it away. Pat Powers and Stevenson win gold in Clearwater. Now, 20 years later, the Gold Crown will conclude in Huntington Beach. The top 4 teams after the 3-event series will advance to Sunday's final. Winner take all. Back to action. Rogers to serve, leading 3-2.
Gibb puts it away. Funny story. Last night, we're driving home in the shuttle after a late night of volleyball, the longest day in AVP history. And Hans Stolps and Ty Loomis are in the van. They're talking about the teams they lost to. And Rogers sitting there, he just shakes his head and goes, "This is all you guys needed to do." And he gave every tendency on every single guy.
And Dahlhauser knew none of those until he hooked up with Rogers, and now that's why they are world champions and a great shot to win not only a medal, but a gold medal in this Summer Olympics.
Raji with a great pass. Phil sets it 10 feet off the net. Gibb will have a chance to take the lead. Raji's there.
Keep an eye out. This is what Gibb and Rosenthal did in Game 1, stealing back some points that would have been sure points normally against Dahlhauser Rogers. That time, Rosenthal dropping off the net on a bad set, getting it up and putting it away, and now they have the lead. Should be down by 2 or 3 if Dahlhauser Rogers take care of business.
Tough serve into that win. Raji handles it perfectly, but Rosie's in the pocket. Rosie has a chance. Now Gibb against the Beast.
And he beats the Beast! Jake Gibb off the block for 5-3!
And that's what Coach Todd was talking about before. They're having some fun celebrating. That's the kind of good vibe that Dahlhauser, that Rosenthal and Gibb have to have, because they have lost so many times against this world champion team of Dahlhauser and Rogers.
As always, the AVP reminds you to vive responsibly.
Big wind coming at Jake Gibb. I guarantee he's going to rip that jump. He doesn't go down the sideline, or down the middle. Heavy wife style. Goes down the middle. Raji's there. Raji down the line. 4 facing 5. Jake and Sean lead by 1. Phil Dahlhauser. Funny thing, Karch, about Phil is when he jump serves, it used to be a big deal to run to the net, but after he's done jump serving, he's 3 steps away from the net. He doesn't have that far to go.
He's the only guy who can hit it down from 26 feet back.
Jake Gibb taps it down the line. Rosie and Gibb continue to play consistent volleyball as they lead 6-4 in game number 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the AVP Crocs Tour in Dallas. And remember, folks, the chase for the Cup culminates in Manhattan Beach in late September. $1 million and the Crocs Cup on the line. Here are the standings after just one event. Dahlhauser and Rogers in first, Scott Lucena second, Jennings, Furbringer, Medell, Sousa in third.
Oh, Rosie. That time, Raji telling Phil, you guys heard it screaming down, saying get down low and play that.
And that's one thing, that another part of playing with Rogers for Dahlhauser is that he's gotten a lot stronger. They have a whole track program, a lifting program, and he's so happy he can play the ball lower, but that time he backed off the net thinking it was going to hit the top. And Dahlhauser is proud that he's only thrown up once during this year's track workouts.
Jake's going to have a chance.
Oh, Raji with the great feet and the quick snap. He got it. 7-7
this time, Rogers Dahlhauser returning the favor. Gibb with the sure point. And it gets stolen away. What a dig by Rogers. Kaboom.
And you know, Carter, I'm sitting over here in the corner at a perfect angle of that when Jake had a swing. He had absolutely nowhere to go around Phil. That's why Todd had an easy dig. And right there, an ace serve doing what they do best. They now lead 8-7 as we turn. 8-7. 8-7 on the board, game 3. We played a 15. Phil and Todd leading.
For everything volleyball and to purchase your tickets for whatever event you want to go to avp.com.
Nice set into the wind right there. Jake Gibb making that play look easy. That was a tough bump set for 8-8.
Really tough. He makes the hard part of that play, but Rosenthal really smart. Hits an off-speed shot off the top of Dahlhauser's hands. Instead of going for the crush, it might get blocked straight down. Rosenthal's managing his game better by going hard and soft at varying times.
Tough jump serve, Raji. Rogers off-speed cut shot from the right side. 9-8.
When Rogers first came on this tour, he was a left side player. Made the transition a few years ago, hooking up with his buddy Sean Scott. Went to the right his whole first year. He really struggled, and ever since then, he's been confounding blockers all over the world.
Rosie. Left-handed, but the beast is there. Phil Dahlhauser swats it back for 10-8.
And you talked 2 plays ago, Dieter, about what a great set Gibb made in this swirling wind conditions. That set was blowing beyond Rosenthal's right shoulder and off the net. That's why he had to swing with his left hand, had nowhere to go.
Raji serve. Rosie.
Rosenthal, Dallas, can you dig it? Wow! Rosie from the right side unleashes.
And Rosenthal goes to his right this time, goes for the back set because the wind is in a direction where that set's an easier one to make, just buries it cross court.
Raji with a hard shot himself, 11-9. We turn, we applaud these 4 unbelievable athletes out here in our finals, battling once again, as they did last night.
It's starting to slip away, but Superman and the Big Nasty are going to have to figure something out. They've got to control this serve, put it away, and then do something when they're serving. Get a block, get a dig.
Serve just long. St. John, come on in here.
You know, the end of the game is so critical. Dahlhauser and Rogers are so good at the end of the game. They're consistent. They don't hold back. That's the problem with Rosie and Gibb. They've had it. Sometimes they hold back at the end. They make a few mistakes and they give it over to this great team.
St. John, you hit on a great point. I talked to Mike Dodd today. You know, that was a great match last night, the 3rd game, but they just didn't make the plays that Phil and Todd did from 10 to 15. That's the difference.
And they have about 3 opportunities here to make the play. They lost one of them right here. They go at Dahlhauser. They got some points off him in game 1, but no hope for that ball.
Rogers and Dahlhauser trying to make it 2 in a row on the Gold Crown Series. They won last weekend in Miami to start off the year. They're trying to do it again in Dallas. And now they lead 13-10.
Stick around. The conclusion of this great final in the D when we return. The AVP Dallas Open is brought to you by Crocs. Play hard, live comfortably. By Gatorade, is it in you? And by Bud Light, keeps it coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's coming down to the wire. 13-10. Who's going to win? Will it be Dahlhauser and Rogers? Gibb and Rosenthal. You decide. Make some noise. Here we go.
13-10. Rajan jump floating goes short to Rosenthal. A much needed side out, and they get it. And it's a hammer.
Oh my gosh, what a play by Rosenthal. You see he took the opposite approach that time. He can go with either foot, either hand. His footwork can be totally screwed up. He still blasts that ball between Rogers and Dahlhauser. Now, again, we talked about it before. They have to make something happen on their serve. Gibb has to come up with a tough one. And that wasn't it.
Phil.
The big nasty, the big smooth one, Jake Spiker Gibb, and he got it. 12-13. We got ourselves a ball game.
Well, he doesn't come up with the serve, but he sure comes up huge with his first block of the third game.
See if they go. I think they should go right back at Dahlhauser. Get a block on him once, try it again, and look for the shot over his head.
Phil brings it back. Rogers hard.
Just off the arms, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet. On your feet for game match championship point.
Rosie Gibb needing a side out. This game going. The serve.
And here we go. Big Phil just goes to an easy jump float. Rosie.
That is it! Todd Rogers and Phil Dahlhauser have won the second leg of the Gold Crown. Ladies and gentlemen of Dallas, give it up for Jake Gibb and Sean Rosenthal. And our winners, Big Phil Dahlhauser and Todd Rogers.
Time to look at our Crocs Fancy Footwork play of the day. We could have chosen a number of plays, but we went with this one. What a great rally. Look at the athleticism of these four great players. The pokey by the beast. And Phil puts it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for all four athletes.
Time for our Gatorade Champions interview.
Here we are with our champions, Phil Dahlhauser and Todd Rogers. Phil, I'll start with you. Once again, a tough weekend. People went at both you. They served you guys tough, especially in these weather conditions.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the smoothest game, match, or weekend for us, but we came out on top.
Now, Todd, you guys talked about with St. John not changing much. They just played phenomenal in game one. You kind of had to weather the storm, it looked like, but you really picked up your game. You had some of the biggest hammers out there.
With Phil and Rosie out there, they're always going to take the cake. I just try my best, and yeah, they played great in the first game. Rosie had two amazing covers, saving points, two absolute Yahtzees on two for save Jake. If they play that well, what are you going to do? You know, if they put that together for two games, well, we'll probably go home with the second place check instead of the first.
All right, Phil Dahlhauser, Todd Rogers starting off the year with 2 victories.
Well, that'll do it for the AVP Crocs Tour from the D. The Dallas Open, where the world's #1 team, Phil Dahlhauser and Todd Rogers, take home the title. They've now won back-to-back legs of the Gold Crown Series. That all but assures them a spot in the Huntington Beach Final Four for all the money. For Karch Karai and St. John Smith, I'm Chris McGee. We'll see you next time on the AVP Crocs Tour.